8 things you wish your parents understood. Let's get right into it. Number 1. We wish parents tried to understand before judging. When you were a kid, did you ever try explaining why you broke something, but your parents already decided whose fault it was? That's the thing. Sometimes children aren't wrong, they're just different. Parents often mistake curiosity for defiance. When a child questions, experiments, or does things their own way, it's not always rebellion, it's exploration. The brain of a child is literally wired to test boundaries. That's how it learns. But when judgment comes before understanding, something inside that child shuts down. They stop explaining, stop opening up, and start pretending to agree because being misunderstood feels worse than being wrong. True understanding isn't about always approving. It's about asking, what made you feel that way? Instead of, why did you do that? Because when parents take time to understand, a child learns something powerful, that their feelings are valid, even when their actions need correction. Understanding matters more than being right, and it's the foundation of every healthy parent-child bond. Number 2. We wish parents didn't protect us from everything. You probably remember the first time your parents said, "Don't do that, you'll get hurt." It sounded caring, but over time, it became limiting. Overprotection feels like love, but it teaches fear. Parents who shield their kids from every risk unknowingly raise adults who doubt their own strength. Falling teaches balance. Failure builds courage. Struggle develops problem solving. Research from the University of Minnesota shows that children who experience manageable stress early in life develop stronger emotional regulation as adults. In short, a few bumps help you grow thicker skin. When parents rush to fix every problem, children don't learn how to fix anything themselves. They grow up thinking the world is dangerous and that they're too fragile to survive it. Love shouldn't mean removing every challenge. It should mean standing nearby while your child learns to handle it. Because real strength doesn't come from being protected, it comes from being trusted to try. Number 3. We wish parents trusted us to make our own choices. Trust is the soil where confidence grows. But when parents make every decision, what to study, who to befriend, what career to chase, they're sending an unintended message. You can't be trusted with your own life. That message sticks deeper than you think. Over time, it turns into hesitation, a quiet fear of being wrong, a habit of waiting for permission before living. Psychologists call this learned helplessness. When you grow up believing your choices don't matter, you stop making them altogether. You become cautious, dependent, risk-averse, not because you lack ability, but because you were never allowed to trust yourself. Here's the irony. Parents control because they care, but love that suffocates becomes fear disguised as protection. Trusting your child to choose doesn't mean letting them walk blind. It means walking beside them while they learn to navigate their own path. Because sometimes, the best way to say I love you is to say, I believe you can handle this. Number 4. We wish parents never compared us to others. Look at your cousin. She got straight A's. Congratulations to the cousin. Meanwhile, your self-worth just lost 50 points. Comparison is like emotional poison. It seeps in quietly and stays for years. It tells you that love is conditional, that success is measured by someone else's scoreboard. The truth? Comparison doesn't motivate, it discourages. Neuroscience shows that social comparison activates the brain's pain centers. That's why you physically feel smaller when someone says, "Why can't you be more like them?" Every child has a unique rhythm. Some run fast, some take the scenic route. But when you're constantly compared, you stop enjoying your own journey. You're too busy chasing someone else's map. Parents think comparison pushes you to do better, but it actually teaches you to seek validation instead of growth. The best gift a parent can give isn't perfection, it's permission. Permission to be yourself, at your own pace, in your own way. Number 5. We wish parents cared about what we thought. Growing up, you were probably told, "Because I said so." It's the classic parent line, short, efficient, and completely emotion-proof. But here's the problem. When children are never asked what they think, they stop believing their thoughts matter. Every human being, even a 7-year-old, needs to feel heard. Asking, "What do you think?" or "How do you feel about that?" doesn't make a parent weak, it makes a child confident. It teaches emotional intelligence. When parents ignore a child's perspective, they accidentally train obedience over understanding. The child learns to follow rules, but not values. They comply, but they don't connect. Studies in child development show that children who are encouraged to share opinions develop stronger problem-solving and communication skills as adults. In other words, listening doesn't just nurture, it builds future leaders. So, next time a kid asks, "Can I tell you something?" listen like it matters. Because in that small moment, you're teaching them that their inner voice has value, and that lesson lasts far longer than any lecture ever will. Number 6. We wish parents listened when we tried to open up. If you've ever tried to talk about your feelings and got interrupted halfway through, you know exactly why this matters. Children stop talking when they realize nobody's really listening. Parents often mistake talking to for listening to. The difference? Talking to is about control. Listening to is about connection. When a child opens up about anxiety, fear, or mistakes, they don't need instant advice or punishment. They need space to be heard, to feel safe expressing what's inside. Psychologists call this emotional attunement, the ability to tune into someone's feelings without trying to fix them. And here's the irony. When parents actually listen, children usually figure things out on their own. The truth is, listening is one of the purest forms of love. Because to truly listen, you have to put your ego aside and care more about understanding than being right. Sometimes, all a child needs to hear is silence, the kind that means, "I'm here, keep talking, I'm listening." Number 7. We wish parents taught us that failure is okay. When you were young, failure was the ultimate villain. A bad grade, grounded, a mistake, lecture incoming. No wonder so many adults panic when things go wrong. We were trained to believe that mistakes meant we weren't good enough. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's the path to it. Research from Stanford shows that children who view failure as a learning opportunity, instead of proof of inadequacy, develop what psychologists call a growth mindset. These people grow stronger after setbacks, instead of shrinking from them. Unfortunately, most parents were never taught this themselves. They grew up in survival mode, where failure wasn't feedback, it was shame, and they passed that fear down to their kids. Imagine how different it would be if more parents said, "It's okay. You tried. What did you learn from it?" instead of, "You should have done better." Because when you learn that failure doesn't define you, courage finally can. Number 8. We wish parents expressed love through words, not only sacrifice. Every parent sacrifices time, money, sleep, dreams. But here's the thing. Children don't always see those sacrifices. What they remember are the words they heard or didn't hear. "I'm proud of you. I love you. You did your best." Those sentences shape a child's inner world more than any act of sacrifice ever could. Many parents show love through action, cooking, providing, worrying, but forget to say it out loud. Yet neuroscience shows that verbal affirmation actually strengthens emotional bonds. Words literally rewire the brain to associate safety with love. Silence, even loving silence, can sound like distance to a child. And while they may grow up grateful, they also grow up wishing they'd heard the words that matched the love. Love unspoken is still love, but love expressed becomes memory. And that's what every child carries forever. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.